Once again, I would like to greet all our valued listeners and viewers throughout the whole world, most especially to all Shepherd's Rod believers. To begin our study, let us read 1TG number 2 on page 22. 1TG number 2, page 22. It says, "As there is but one right way, and but one door, and as all Christians do not see alike and do not walk together, could it be that we are all wrong? All going in a wrong direction? No, that could never be, as long as the Lord does not forsake the earth. Indeed not, for he must have a people in whom to confide his truth, and by whom to save those who choose to go his way. So those who choose to go some other way will in the end discover that the devil, not the Lord, is behind them, and that hell, not the kingdom, is ahead of them." 1TG number 2, page 22. So here, the voice of inspiration is plainly telling us that as long as God did not forsake the earth, God must have a people in whom to confide his truth. The same statement in Prophets and Kings on page 714. It says, Prophets and Kings 714. "Never has the Lord been without true representatives on this earth who have made his interest their own. These witnesses for God are numbered among the spiritual Israel, and to them will be fulfilled all the covenant promises made by Jehovah to his ancient people." Prophets and Kings 714. So the spirit of prophecy is plainly telling that there was no period of time by which God has no true representatives on this earth. And accordingly, it says, with unbroken line, God has a people by which unto them God confide his truth and entrusted unto them. the plan of salvation. Here in Patriarchs and Prophets, page 125, it says, God has ever preserved a remnant to serve Him. Adam, Seth, Enoch, Methuselah, Noah, Shem, in unbroken line, had preserved from age to age the precious revealings of His will. Patriarchs and Prophets, page 25. Now, in this study, the mere fact that God admonishes us that in order for us to make sure of our salvation, we need to ascertain clearly what movement we are to enlist in. Track number 14, page 22. Can be easily understood that it is the will of God that God's people will be joined together, will be united as one in the church recognized by God as His. For example, here in track number 6, on page 11, it says, showing that he recognizes only one denomination. So Jesus Christ recognizes only one denomination as His. And it says, showing that He recognizes only one denomination. Then Christ said, and other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. John 10 verse 16. The existing disunion among Christians of today is not, therefore, fulfilling God's but Satan's predetermined purpose. Track number 6, page 11. Here in 2 Azar, on page 256, it says, by the rain is represented great light on the Word of God. That is to ripen the harvest and lighten the world with its glory. The angel of Revelation 18, verse 1. The pouring out of the Spirit is the power that is to descend upon God's servants to carry on the work represented by the former and latter rain. And upon all flesh is the Spirit that is to convince the honest in heart of the truth and bring them into the church, of which Pentecost was a type. And the floor shall be full of wheat, and the patch shall overflow with wine and oil, represents a great harvest of souls that shall be garnered in by the result of the rain in the Spirit. But I would like to focus on the statement that God, the Spirit of God, will convince the honest in heart of the truth and then bring them into the church. Now, let us deal this subject seriously. Brothers and sisters, to repeat again, it is the shepherd's rod who admonish us that in order to make sure of our salvation, we need to ascertain clearly what movement we are to enlist in or what movement to join. For sure, brothers and sisters, as the shepherd's rod stated, at this present time, in the days in which we are living in, there must be a group of people. There must be a denomination. There must be a church by which such church is recognized by God as His. According to the shepherd's rod, in track number 6, page 11, Christ recognizes only one denomination. Now, we need to study closely how to determine the movement which recognized by God as His. I remember the statement in Spiritual Gifts, Book 1, page 126, saying, I saw that a very large company professed the name of Christ, but God does not recognize them as His. You see, brothers and sisters, here in Spiritual Gifts, Book 1, page 126, saying that there is a large company of professed Christians, but the absolute fact is that Jesus Christ do not recognize such church as His. Now, reading again, in track number 4, on page 52, it says, with the abundance of evidence herein made available to all, no one need remain in ignorance of the source through which the Lord reveals Himself, if it will but investigate personally. Now, it is high time now that each one of us should investigate personally, because there is an abundance of evidence in the Word of God, the Word it is written, that you can recognize clearly unto whom the Lord reveals Himself.